What about the pit fire, Jewel? The fire pit.
Oh, here we are. Now this is,
here we go.
Now, speaking of farms,
what didn't you know until the coronavirus lockdown?
I have been away up in the bush, a little place called, should I mention it?
No.
Yeah, Walhalla, a
Yes.
very small
No one
place.
there.
In the middle of a forest, Bill. A lot of trees up there, and they don't do much up there. The chimneys have smoke coming out of them. And then I realised
What they're for.
that they need wood to burn in the chimney. And I never realised that wood chopping was such a...
Art?
what would you say, Jim? Such a...
Art?
Fickle.
It's like finding a nugget of gold. You go out in your 1-ton ute, you go out with your axe, and people would say that is just to debark the tree with the axe. You go out,
Chainsaw?
you go out with your wood splitter to split it, and your chainsaw to cut it. So
Right.
the three items.
It's usually illegal, BT.
And
to
Debark.
chop trees down, no matter where they're at.
As long as they've got no element of life to them, Damo.
No. You're meant to leave them there, BT.
They haven't after bristles finished with it.
An element of life after he's put the chainsaw through it
I've
23
never
times.
known a more secretive life in my. They all go out, and you watch one ute go out, and you say to your wife, "There, it goes.
Where are
He's
they
going up to the South Face Road, and the other one's going up to Britannia Spur.
Oh.
And they're all going off in their different spots, and
It's
they make
like
sure.
a fishing spot. You know, where they hide their
And you know what they do
fish
to make sure they're not being followed? Once
Yeah.
they get out on the road about a K or two out on a dirt track, they stop.
Do they take
10 minutes,
guns?
Oh,
just in
watch
case
the
someone's
weight.
followed. Yeah, then they push on, and they mark their trees with a bit of ribbon normally.
Oh, no.
They just come back to that one in a couple of months when she's dried off a bit. She's still got a few leaves popping out, and then they cut. Then they put the V into the tree.
Yeah.
A V. It's got to go at least 2/3 of the way through, Bill, and then you cut it from the back so
And which way is it for?
it falls to the V.
Right.
And it'll normally fall to wherever you want it to in the V.
Yep.
As long as it hasn't got a lot of weight going the other way, and it could fall the other way. So
And
park
land
it-
on your ute, your
Park it.
1-tonner.
Park and the moisture content. Always check the moisture content of your tree first, because it's too moist you can't split it.
Well, how do you check
you want
that?
it crispy.
How do you check that?
Put the chainsaw into it, and then grab a handful of the sawdust and check that whether that's sort of.
Jim, I'm
And
pretty
if it's
sure.
not, moisture, you're in trouble.
Leave it with the chainsaw scar and move on.
Cut it down for next time.
Jim, I'm pretty sure what BT's describing here is fully illegal.
And they take a flask. Everyone takes a flask
Right.
with a tea bag and
Yeah.
a cup of tea.
A tea
Right.
bag.
And out you go. And you gotta be able to pull the log out. So you take a couple of chains, because if it's a big bastard, like I was cutting down 100-footers. I was cutting down.
But don't you chop it up and throw it into your ute?
So once again, this
you've
is
got
all
to pull
legal.
it out, because it can often be on a steep.
Is this legal?
No.
Pull it out onto the road,
right,
cut
yeah.
it up, and always have one of you guys about a K down the road in case parks come. In case the rangers circulate.
I'd suggest you stop talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Brian.
no,
Oh,
it's a great existence.
I love it. What about the
Getting wood.
when we were talking, Damo, a few years back, this is about 6 or 7 years back, about the issue that one of the Rub members was having with possums.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we said to Brian, who at that stage was out at Monagita, had the property,
Yes,
You might have been that
and
person.
we said, what happens out there, Bristol? You must have plenty of possums. He says, well, not really anymore. We said, well, how are you dealing with them? And because normally you've got the trap in the roof, and
Yeah.
as Brian often says, apple in the trap, and then, you respond. Brian said, no, we put the trap about 50 or 60 metres out across the grass, so that as the possum's heading towards it, the dog gets 2 or 3 goes.
Brian.
This is a native
Does a
animal
lot
of
wrong.
Australia.
I don't think he did that, though, Jim.
No.
You done good work, Damo.
And if they got past the dog, they did enter the trap, and then they were gone.
They were trapped.
They weren't repositioned or replaced at another suburb. They were.
No, they would have been, BT.
As soon as you mention possums, straight away I think of people that have got possums on their head.
You are
Speaking of
obsessed.
you, Duck.
Speaking of that,
I
come straight back
Who
to
to? Who?
Well, yeah.
Give us your top 3.
Mockbell, Ponting, and Jordan Lewis.
Mockbell.
Mockbell.
Well, his was for
The dangerous
specific
one.
reasons.
Yeah.
He was in.
He was
hiding.
he was trying not to be.
So who you got?
He was up at Bonnie Doon.
Ricky Ponting, which no one talks about.
he doesn't talk about that, Doug.
Well, he's got a possum. He's got to talk about it.
Right.
Has he?
Yeah.
And Jordan Lewis, has he? Because he doesn't
No,
talk.
he's got a possum, for sure. And, the other one's fairly obvious, I would have thought.
Well, give us another 2. Let's extend it to 5.
Warnie's got a little possum.
Well, you're moving into possum area.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
are.
It's natural. Mosh. Give him the mosh.
We might just have to explore something around that a
Yeah.
little
Grow it
later on in the
naturally.
show.
There's a
of course.
development on that.
I'll tell you what we're doing next. We're going to take a little break. I'll tell you what we're doing next. Brian, last week, cut up enormously rough
Yep.
about lists. He demanded
I
at
hate
the
'em.
top of the show yesterday that there be no more list purple.
Don't you come with another list, JB.
Since then, so we're 7 days,
Yeah.
there have been 400 of them.
Yes, exactly. And
And
guess what else we got? Tom Brady. Jim?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Jim?
I've got breaking news on that. Breaking news on that, Willis.
Tom Brady spun up last week, Jim.
By the
Stay
way,
tuned. Get ready for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
for Hard Yakka.